Hello there, it is We Lead Finance Roundtable. I am Tomike, Alayande, your host. Now, We Lead is a non-profit organization aimed at empowering ladies, women specifically. And with me is the founder of We Lead, Dayo, Oladele, Ilori. And she will be giving us more insights on what the organization is all about. Speaking of We Lead, some people are probably discovering about it for the first time right now. So, if you were to give us more insight on what the organization is about, what would...
Okay, so We Lead is an NGO, a female initiative, which is positioned to raise performance-driven women who will lead, engage, and impact their community sustainably. However, we have a twist to our own tale. Most women organizations project the equality agenda. Here at We Lead, we believe in equity, where we have both men and women come together to make a change to the community. So also, we have realized that a lot of organizations play in the girl-child area. So they want to better the lot of the girls. And we're asking the question, who is dealing with the boys? For who are we raising these girls? Who are the boys going to handle these girls in the future? Whether as bosses, as husbands, as brothers, as colleagues at work. So we have a twist to our tale. So we are raising also focusing attention on the boy child.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. And the first roundtable was, the discussion was centered on the 21st century women, progressive or destructive, which was a rather, insightful conversation. Yes. And why exactly are you switching to financial decisions this time around?
This year, we have noticed the trend that there are a lot of deficit in the financial education sector, especially for young people, children, young adults who are just getting into the workforce. So a lot of people don't even know what it means to save, what it means to invest. All they know is, oh, I have a bank account. So people don't have, there is a deficit in that area. And because we essentially educate the public, we want people to be more aware of opportunities that are bound, not beyond saving. So we are now talking about investment. We'll talk about the money market, there is the agricultural sector, there is the mining sector, there is the makeup, which is booming. There is a lot of sector where you can invest your money. And now we're not even talking about being full-time entrepreneur. So we're saying your money can also work for you. So where can you put your money? Essentially, this roundtable is dealing with where can you put your money.
Awesome. Thank you very much. In a bit, you will be learning more on the A to Z's of making excellent financial decisions, and you will get to meet our panelists. So grab your pens, your jotters, because you are going to be taking life-changing notes. Stay tuned. Make immature financial decisions, you will be broke your entire life. Now, there's no way I came up with that, but it's one of my favorite quotes. Hello there, you are watching We Lead Financial Web Roundtable, brought to you by We Lead in partnership with Accelerate TV. I am Tomike, Alayande, your host. Now, I, for one, do not plan to be broke my entire life, which is why I am super excited today. I am surrounded by financial experts on today's roundtable, and we will be learning every single thing about making excellent financial decisions. You will get to meet them in a bit. I can't wait to meet them. So, let's just go ahead and say hello to everyone.
Good morning, everyone. I'm happy to be here. My name is Chinwe Uzoho. I'm Group Head Personal Banking, and I work with Access Bank Nigerian PLC.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Tosin Oluwaleye. I represent Rivi Finance, a fintech company that provides digital banking services for cooperatives. Happy to be here this morning.
My name is Imaobong. I'm a wealth advisor with Meristem Wealth Management Limited. I'm happy to be here.
My name is Oluwaleye. I founded Money Africa. It is a personal finance platform. We teach millennials how to make better financial decisions and build wealth sustainably.
My name is Yinka Ogunnubi. I'm the Group Treasury Manager of CFL Nigeria PLC. It's a conglomerate that's been in Nigeria for over 20 years.
My name is Dayo, Oladele, Ilori. I'm the founder of We Lead. I also am the secretary on the board of We Lead, and we are the ones hosting this wonderful financial lessons today.
Good morning. My name is Tomike Alayande, obviously, but I'm here to learn it all when it comes to making excellent financial decisions. And to start with, there are several misconceptions when it comes to financial decisions in Nigeria. And what are some of the important, financial decisions that Nigerians need to take very important? I mean, those things that would be the top of the list when it comes to making financial decisions. What would you say are some of those things?
I would say start early. So when you talk to a lot of millennials, there's that conception that, oh, I need to have 1 million naira to start. Oh, I will start later. Are you kidding me? You're missing out on financial discipline and you're missing out on building. So start early. So with that first NYSC job, start. It's like a muscle. You start building the muscle and you start teaching yourself how to start early. So I always say you don't need 1 million to start, and then you should start early.
Exactly. I totally agree. And you don't even have to wait till NYSC. I mean, you could start while you're in school. I see several people, you know, starting up businesses while they are undergraduates, because we come out of school and people are like, oh, I expect you to have like 10 years experience, 5 years experience, and you're like, I couldn't have been working in secondary school. So I agree with you on that one. And, you know, moving on to, you know, financial mistakes that we tend to make in early 20s and 30s, and I'll be directing that question to you because, you know, you tend to deal with personal finance. There are several mistakes that, you know, people in their 50s look back today and they're like, oh, I wish if I had known, you know, I wouldn't have done that. I would have done this and I probably wouldn't be where I am today. So what are some of the mistakes that people in their 20s and 30s tend to make?
Like she said, the first thing is start early. And there's no time that is too early for you to open a bank account. Those are some of the financial discipline that you have to teach yourself. So it's not a question of, oh, in as much as it would sound funny, some people today still believe that I need the millions to go into a bank to open an account. So it doesn't matter how much you have. First of all, you must discipline yourself that I need a bank account. I need to be putting away money somewhere for tomorrow, for whatever I want to do. So, I mean, if you're working, even if it's your NYC money, you can have a target savings account. That is starting early. So from your alawi, you say, okay, I'll put away 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira, and all that. And before you know it, you will just gather that small initial seed that you need to start early. You can empower yourself by borrowing for the right reason and putting it into your business. And teach yourself financial discipline. It is important. So we are 4 months to Christmas, right? Everybody expects that during Christmas you're going to be spending. Your mom wants you to buy rice, you want to buy chicken, you want to buy oil. How much have you started saving today towards that Christmas spend? So it gets to Christmas, you're asking yourself, borrow me 10 naira, borrow me 5 naira. You find out that there's a huge gap. You know, so put some money away, go to Access Bank, open an account, and start saving today.
You spoke about borrowing.
Yes.
I, for one, growing up, I used to hate that word, borrowing. Like, it feels like I'm indebted to someone and, you know, people could hold me ransom. But I've come to realize that, you know, borrowing for good causes, like you said, could also be advisable.
Exactly.
But at what age would you advise that, you know, people can start taking loans? Is there any age limit to it?
Yes, I would say, I mean, even in Nigeria, there's an age limit to financial exposure in terms of borrowing, right? With respect to risk. So I don't expect a 6-year-old to come to the bank and say, I want to borrow me money because I want to start doing X, Y, Z. So, for instance, today we have what we call the payday loan, which has been designed for employees in Nigeria. So all it takes is making it simple for you to be able to access that loan. Most people feel, in quotes today, that the banks always want me to give them money. But when I want to borrow, they tell me, bring an arm and a leg, bring these, making it very impossible for me to be able to access that loan. So with your payday loan, once you're an employee in corporate Nigeria, you pick up your phone and dial *901 *11 hash. You don't need to talk to anybody. You don't need to come to the bank. You can do it 247. Wow. Raining, it's sunny, midnight, anytime. Once you dial it, it will tell you how much you're eligible for. *901 *11 hash. And all you need to do is you're eligible to take 100,000. You can take 20, and immediately the money is credited to your account. So if somebody has seen a business opportunity, for instance, and he says, oh, I need 100,000 naira to buy materials to start making beads or whatever, this, you know, early starter. you can get it. Maybe you're an entrepreneur, you're doing a small work, but you're aspiring that tomorrow I will have a shop, I'll start making beats. You have to start from somewhere, you know. So there's nothing wrong in borrowing. Absolutely. Most importantly, you must borrow for the right reason, and you have to use the money for the right reasons.
We always say, oh, you have to save, but it's actually a struggle, and so many people are really struggling with it today. Some people earn so much, yet they save so little. Why are they struggling? Yinka, the way your head is put down, it feels like there's some personal experience. I don't know, or what would you say about that?
Savings is habitual, so it's it's something that you have to start early to create that capacity to do. For me, for instance, I'm teaching my children to do that right now.
Sure.
You know, and they're very young. I mean, they're still, there's one is a preteen, one is a teenager. And what I've done is that I've created the bank of dad in the house. And so they save their money with me.
Daddy, can you be trusted?
No, I can't. I can't be trusted.
Open. No.
I can't be trusted.
No, you have to open an early savers account for them right away. No way.
No, let me explain. I mean, they do have their bank accounts, their separate bank accounts. But the thing is, what I'm trying to teach them is actually a practice, because what they do is that they get a lot of money from friends, from family, from grandparents and things like that. And so they give you the money, and I give them a ridiculous interest rate.
Oh, wow.
Like 50%, something like that. Now, I'm teaching them an idea about what you can do to earn money and how saving and investment can earn money. So I know it's ridiculous, but it's a way to start. And so if you cascade this down along the line, you'll find out that when people learn that practice, it just immediately kicks into them habitually. That when I get 10 naira, I don't think about what I'm going to do with 10 naira. I'm going to immediately take out my savings out of 10 naira and then think about what I'll do with it.
Don't teach them money doubling, because what you're teaching them is money doubling.
No, I'm not.
No. Yeah, because
Chinwe, I disagree with you. And the reason is it's financial education.
You know, there's been so much awareness on financial decisions lately, and especially you teaching your kids 7 years back up till now. So how would you rate young ones generally in terms of, you know, being aware and being able to make great financial decisions? Would you say they are doing well on a scale of, say, A to F? How well would you rate the young ones now?
Not very high.
Why?
Yes. Sure.
Actually, the data
I agree with you.
The data is out there that the young people are actually not doing very well with money.
I agree with you.
Yeah, there's a lot of fear, and they're very conservative. So they're not taking risks, they're not investing, and they're not even saving that much.
I had a conversation with my daughter some months ago, and she said she wanted an iPhone.
How old is she?
She's a teenager.
Oh, okay.
So you understand? Now I don't use an iPhone. I mean, and the purpose of a phone for me is simple. You text the phone and that's it. You know, so I asked her, justify to me why you need an iPhone, and she just went off. You know, it's what my colleagues use. You know, it's what my peers use. And then I had to sit her down to explain to her how much an iPhone costs, how much of my income
you put there.
I have to put down for that. And how that process goes. And she wasn't very happy. She went away, but I think she got the story. So you find out that the generation we have is a consumption generation. It's a consuming generation.
Yes.
They want this. They don't understand the value of what they have to put back
as well.
in doing that. Yeah. That's the reason why we're here.
And, you know, speaking of economy, we kind of blame it all on the economy these days. And, you know, what's wrong? Well, the economy is this, the economy is that. But in what ways would you say that the economy has sort of influenced the sort of financial decisions that we make in Nigeria?
A lot of times, like he mentioned, that people are not, or young ones are not willing to invest. Sometimes you go to talk to young people about investing and you hear things like, oh, my dad lost a lot of money in 2008, things like that. Sometimes they don't even understand the modalities of losing money, why money was lost and things like that. So I think And so that is something that the economic situation at that time would have cost for a lot of young people. We were very young, you just know that. Some people even, I had someone who told me that her dad actually had high blood pressure and stuff like that, and eventually died from that kind of situation. So imagine that kind of person advising that person to do investments, so buy shares, or so she did. And the reason why all those things happened was because of lack of information and people just swinging and doing things other people were doing. So for me, information is very key. For me, teaching young people the basics of investing, teaching young people how they invest, teaching young people the risk in different forms of investment. So you must understand the risk in every investment you're doing and then be able to make sensible investment decisions about your money. So you just have to be sensible, but understand yourself, understand the risks you can take and you're willing to take, understand how the market, what you're investing in works, runs, and then you can now take decisions.
And you know, Tosin, you are into digital banking, you know, the finance application, exactly. And in what ways would you say that advancement in technology has influenced the financial decisions that human beings take? Okay,
so the first thing I think, just to feed off our own point, the fundamental thing is really about the financial literacy about it, right? People need to understand the basic financial terms, basic financial talk, really. And then the fundamental of that is savings, right? Out of every amount that you get, best practice is to put away 10, maybe to 30% in extreme cases away. And from your savings, you can actually do make investments. Now to your question. The role of technology in savings is, I mean, it's easy now in terms of how exactly you can perform financial transactions. In the 90s, you had this tally system in banks where you have to go to the bank. You remember? Yeah. So you're not that young. You still remember the old banks where typically a trip to the bank to do any kind of transaction is a single day transaction. You have to pen every other thing that you're doing. And so with the advent of, and with the help of CBN, with some of the policies that they try to pursue, especially within the 2000 and 2010, ATMs, cards, interconnectivity, NIBs, mobile money, it's made it very, very easy for money to move from one place to the other. Sure. Right. Now, to drill down to our own focus as a company, we help cooperatives provide digital banking services. And so what essentially it means is we found out that even through all of this, the most consistent form of economic advancement for groups of people is through cooperatives. It's funny, right? So a group of 20 people, maybe in Yaba Market or whatever, they have alajos that go around from place to place to collect money every day, every month, or every week, whatever the case may be. But the problem with that is, I mean, it's manual, it's unstructured.
The risk is high.
The risk is high. The alajo can run away with the money, whatever it is, right? And so essentially, we built a platform where such cooperatives can come on board and they can do all their transactions seamlessly.
There's been so much banter on paid jobs versus entrepreneurship lately. And Yinka, I know you're an author and you kind of deal with personal finances, and I'm sure you'd have spoken to so many people, and you get to realize mistakes that people make when transitioning from employment to, you know, entrepreneurship. Yes, it seems like, oh, life is sweeter on that entrepreneurship side, but, you know, what are some of the common mistakes that you realize that people make when transitioning? And is it also advisable?
There's this glorification of entrepreneurship that we have in our time, that has made people to almost feel that if you're an employee, you're
wasting your time.
You're wasting your time.
You're wasting your time.
So and it's making a lot of people go in that direction that are not actually trained and prepared for it. Prepared for it. It's a fantastic thing, but we must realize that for you to be an entrepreneur, you need certain skills. You need certain abilities. Now, the common mistakes that people make is, first, formalization. They're not properly formalized. They don't know at the get-go what they want to do, whether it's at the profit structure, whether it's partnership, whether it's limited liability company, whether it's just business name, whatever. They just start off and they start to work their way around. So formalization is very, very key. So one of the mistakes that they make. Also, issues around ownership. It's very key. I mean, a lot of the problems that I have identified in mentoring a lot of young entrepreneurs is that they usually at some point a disagreement around who owns what.
Yes.
It's always a big deal.
Yes.
Which is the reason why I always say that it doesn't matter whether it's even on a scrap piece of paper. All right, sit down and have an agreement. A scrappy shareholders agreement is better than
you don't need a lawyer
shareholders agreement. You don't need a lawyer. All right, so solve the issue of ownership, and then when it
from
comes,
day one,
yes, from day one, because you will be shocked. What happens? Somebody will say, it's my brother, or it's my pastor, or it's my whatever. And then along the line, when money starts to come in, that's when you know that you don't have friends.
Your brother.
you don't really have friends. And then structure your business very well. And in that, it's identifying what's the kind of capital I need to bring in. When your business starts making money, people start throwing money at you. Investors start throwing money at you.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me. So, I know what you want to say.
Thank God they didn't sit beside each other.
Don't worry, at the end of the day. So structuring is very, very, very important. And then that goes down to how you separate, the ownership, from the business and the funding from the business and everything. And some of these things, the same model that makes multinationals or corporates succeed, it's the same model that's going to make your startup succeed.
Yes.
There's no going about it. That's the same thing. And that's what I see a lot of the time.
Awesome. And you want to add to that?
Yes, I want to add something. So I've been at both ends. I've worked, I've done entrepreneurship, I'm doing social enterprise now, so I've tasted it all. And I can tell you...
Which side is sweeter?
Well, I won't say either side, but I'll just compare. So there is nothing like entrepreneurship is better than being in paid employment. And I've said this many times at different, because people assume that once you start working for yourself,
the money comes.
The money comes and you're comfortable. In fact, you can sleep and wake up at 10 and then start going to office. To tell you what, you are at the beck and call of your clients. So you can work at 12, you can work till 1 a.m. So there's nothing like employment is better than entrepreneurship. So both has, their pros and cons. But having said that, I would just like to say, in talking about investment, now moving beyond savings, you see, there are opportunities on both ends. So, for instance, you want to start up, but you are not a typical entrepreneur, because being an entrepreneur requires some innate skills. You don't just go into business because everybody is going into business. And I always tell people, if you are not ready to walk away when it's not working, you are not ready to be an entrepreneur. You must be willing to walk away when you know that, this is not working. So you want to start up, but you don't want to own a business directly. There are opportunities in oil and gas. There are opportunities in the mining industry. There are opportunities everywhere outside even the money market. So you want to invest, you can start putting your money. There are people who do supplies in oil and gas products. You just put your money, put 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, and then you can monitor your returns right from your desk. You have the Ubers, who people now buy cars, they give to Uber, they make their returns. You have the crowd funding for agriculture coming really big. So there are a lot of ways to invest your money, even outside, now having the mixed portfolio like we rightly said. You can have different options, put your money in different. Then as an employee, trust me, you can be rich. Sure. That's the truth. You can be rich. It's about you managing your finance, getting hold of your finance right from, and don't start from your NYSC. Please start from when you are, even far below that. So you have a naming ceremony. They give the baby, naturally from our culture, they give the baby some money. What happens? And then the daddy and the mom will say, because I killed a cow, I need to sort out
that's my return. That's my return on investment. That's my return on investment.
So please start early. As open an account, open an investment account. You don't even have to, it doesn't have to be a bank account alone. You can open an investment account and watch the yield, and then teach your kids that saving culture of putting money away. So they see ice cream and they see donuts, and then you tell them that, oh, you know what? This money for donut and ice cream is maybe, say, 2,000 naira. If you put 2,000 naira away at an investment, you can have 7% return. Then do math. Tell them to do the calculation. You'll be shocked. Oh, mommy, you mean I want to invest? I have experience with my own kids, so I know what I'm doing. So let them start early. So you want to do entrepreneurship, fine. You must have the guts to do it. If you're in paid employment, trust me, you can be rich.
But I wanted to add something which is very important for anybody who wants to go into entrepreneurship. Like you said, formalization, and that is where most people get it wrong when it comes to support from the banks, right? So part of what we've seen is that you start up and everything you're doing is in your name. You're just using the account regularly. You want to buy tomato, you use the account. So you go to the bank tomorrow and you say, oh, I want you to finance this business. And I look at your bank account. I can't really see where your money have been going and coming. All I have been seeing is that you've been using your money at spa, different places. So I'm wondering, now you're telling me, oh, everything I make goes into this account. It becomes difficult for the bank to support you because we've seen that you don't have that formalization and you don't have that financial discipline to be able to separate yourself from your business. So it's especially, you know, like I said, we have the W Power loan. And from what we have noticed in trying to make women, empower women is that, okay, where is it? They say, oh, and then most times you find out that borrowing in the informal sector, like he said, oh, you have a partnership with somebody, says, okay, loan me this amount. You have not documented it. Where is your money? Oh, I can't see your seed money even in your business. Oh, I lent it to my friend. He has not paid me back. You don't even know when it will come back. Meanwhile, that is the money you have put into doing your business. And before you know it, the business is already failing and the person becomes discouraged. And that is what is affecting a lot of people. And rightly said, we must not all be entrepreneurs. I've been doing banking for years and I enjoy my job. Somebody has to do it. You understand? But you also have to plan for life after this, what happens. You understand? I may not, be an entrepreneur. If all of us set up our business, who is going to run other, you understand? So you have to, because today, my son graduated, what do you want to do? He said he wants to become an entrepreneur. I said, what's that? I said, what's that? After you said he wants to become an entrepreneur, I said, what's that? He said, when I become an entrepreneur, I'll make money and I buy my own car. I said, so how much do you think a car costs? He said, like if I save up to 3 million. I said, really, 3 million naira. We buy, you know, his mind is if he becomes an entrepreneur, he will make money and the first thing he will do is to buy a car. He's not even paying house rent. And he's thinking of, you understand? Entrepreneur, what do you want to sell? What do you want to do? What do you want to manufacture? All you know is an entrepreneur is somebody who makes his own money. He has not even sat down to do the cost-benefit analysis of whatever it is that he wants to do. So I told him, I said, you know what? You've gone through school, you've done your service. I don't think you know what you want to do. So go and think about it. And I say, working now, you leave by 8, come back by 5, come back by 6, and at the end of the month, at the end of the month, they pay him some. So sorry. I said, so do you think that working for yourself is that easy? First of all, you've not even done a business plan. You've not even formalized it. Do you know that even if I borrow you money inside this your business, I'll be charging you interest? How can? I said, yes. That is the way it starts. If I borrow you money, they don't like to spend their own money. They like to say, I said, formalize it. If I give you money, I'll be charging you interest and you have to tell me how you pay. So that formalizing your business has to start from somewhere. It's either starting from your opening an account or it's starting from what you have thought through you want to do. Like she said, Google is your friend. Go and find out people that have done it. How many of them succeeded? Where did they start and where did they stop? Where are they today? And entrepreneurship, mind you, is not just about making things to buy and sell. You can be an entrepreneur. You're doing public speaking because that is what you're good at. It doesn't have to be that you're manufacturing beads or bags for you to be an entrepreneur. You could be an entrepreneur because you're teaching people. You're just putting people and say, okay, I can teach you people this. You're working for yourself. So it doesn't have to be, you must produce something, you know.
Yeah. There's so many.
I told people very soon, all of us will become makeup artists. Every young girl I know is a makeup artist because they feel that that's the easiest thing to go into. And I said, if I learn how to make up, I won't need you now. After a while, the business will no longer be there.
Exactly. When it comes to the family angle, it could get really complicated. Earlier on, you were saying who owns what, who is to do what. So what are some of the factors that you need to consider when making financial decisions as a family? Could be, or maybe the man or the woman. What would you say are some of the factors?
Tough one.
Well, exactly, tough one. Tough one. But I think most times because of our orientation, yes, your children seems to always take the front burner or family. So what is going to happen? What's the future like for them? What should I do? But I think essentially what couples need to do is sit down and prioritize what is important to us. If for some people, holiday is very important, extremely important. When I say it's a compulsion, every year they have to go see somewhere new. If both of them agree that this is important to us, yes, by all means, start putting money away for holiday. If education is in the front burner, yes, there are very many products from insurance to investment houses on education to banks. They will tell you, you can save this X amount, and then they can even borrow you more, you know, to cushion the effect when you need to. So what is important? You have to have a budget, a family budget.
I wanted to talk about something, talking about family and money. Have you heard of black tax? So basically, black tax is when the breadwinner of the family has to take on the responsibility of other people, that is family members. And I'm not talking about their partners or their children. So I'm talking about extended family. And it is more prominent in developing economies. I'm talking about Nigeria, Ghana, and just Africa in general. And also, based on the statistics, I get that the average person that is employed has about 9 people that are dependent on them. Yeah. So now, where do we draw the line? And that's the message to a lot of millennials or even parents or even people over 40 out there, that you need to be able to draw the line, because you need to plan for your givings to those family members and extended family, because if you do not do that, you're going to draw yourself back into poverty. It's like somebody having a cup of water and every other person dips their straw into it. Depending on how fast everybody is sucking out of the cup, there might be nothing left. So you need to protect your cup. So I'm not saying don't give, but be strategic and actually plan for it. So I have a budget. So if anybody, I have my budget for giving, and once I exceed it, then
okay, which is one of the reasons why HNI is that high net worth individuals have foundations and things like that. Sometimes the reason why they start up foundations it stems from reasons like this. People are constantly dependent on you, and because of our culture, you would be seen as wicked or something else if you do not give out to people. So that's budgeting, financial discipline. So if someone comes to you and knows that, okay, every time I go to Imaobong, if she has exceeded her budget, she won't give me. But if she has not, she'll give me. They would know how to come to you. And if you say, okay, you're asking for 20 naira, but based on the budget I have, I can only give you 10 naira. So tomorrow they know that, okay, or nothing at all. So they do that. So a lot of times, HNI do what we call structured giving. So they structure the giving. So if you want to pay your school fees, okay, go to my foundation. And when you get to foundation, they'll be asking a list of questions. Have you done this? Okay, we'll not be giving you the money, we'll pay to the school. Things like that. So that is part of financial discipline and budgeting.
Awesome. I think everyone should be disciplined. I mean, after listening to this very insightful discussion, any final words or anything you want to say?
What I would like to say is just have a pattern, create a plan, track your spending, make a budget, and be disciplined.
Awesome.
So from We Lead, I would address a couple of things relating to women. First, thank you very much. It's been very awesome and beautiful. There is a book titled Nice Girls Don't Get Rich, and it's talking about the challenges women face with finance. So most times while men invest, women tend to spend. While men, you know, we are more fluid. I mean, you have a bad day, you want to spend money, you have, you know. So I will just employ the women. Moving it back, there are a lot of institutions that can educate you. Be bold. Take the bull by the horn. Don't be scared to be rich. There is nothing wrong in being rich. It's culturally not, maybe it's greed, or It's not sinful to be rich. As a woman, you must start being very deliberate about what you want to own. You can own your house, you can own your car, you can own your own investment. You can think about your family. So it's not just about, oh, I'm a woman, I'm a wife, I'm cocooned back, I'm not allowed to do this. You're allowed to have all of this, just as the men have it. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And thank you all for coming. And that's it on today's discussion on We Lead Finance Web Roundtable, brought to you by We Lead in partnership with Accelerate TV. Remember, you are not a product of your circumstances. You're a product of the decisions that you make. So make wise decisions always. I am Tomike Alayande, and thank you for watching.